Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be covering the results and my take on the 2023 Prague Pro in this video, highlighting some of the competitors and where they finished, specifically in the men's open bodybuilding division, the 1st through 6th place. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned. But if you're new here, I'm Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out this video. Now, I do want to start with a preface, right? Preface that Horse MD was not able to compete at this show. He did come down with a certain illness that starts with the letter C, and he was unable to compete in this show. So you will notice that in the placings. But let's go ahead and start off with a very important announcement. Samson Dauda coming out and winning the 2023 Prague Pro. This is his second Pro Show win in a row. If we do not include the Mr. Olympia, then it would be the 3rd or 4th, because he did win the Arnold Classic, and before that he won, I don't know, it's been so long. So this is very exciting for Samson Dauda. I think this is exactly what we expected from him. Looking at this footage, courtesy of AJ Kelly Roberts, the female bodybuilding channel host, sharing some footage from it would seem the table, the first row table. They do, in Europe they have tables instead of rows. In some shows they do have tables as well in the first few for those very special, important people. And like I said, looking at this footage, thank you AJ for the footage, Samson looks exactly like we expected him to look. Very full, very crisp. You can't really talk about the tan because he is a gentleman of much darker complexion than I, and typically you don't need tan, but I have heard that some people do use a little bit of touch-up if they are of the lighter caliber when it comes to the darker skin tones. But I'm very happy with what Samson looked like here, and this is exactly what we expected from him. Now, from my understanding, he is not going to be doing the Japan Pro next week, so we will not be seeing him next week, but we will see him return to the Arnold Classic Ohio stage in March, and then 2 weeks after that the Arnold UK in the United Kingdoms, just 2 weeks after the Arnold Classic in March, like I said. So that will probably be it for us seeing Samson on stage, at least for 2023. And we do really appreciate what he's been able to do for the sport, and really has put a phenomenal emphasis on the aesthetic look of current bodybuilding. Now, in second place, we have a very exciting Michael Krizo. Now, I thought this was a great package for Michael. He brought a lot of great shape here, a lot of great conditioning. I've heard some people say that this is the best conditioning we've seen from Michael Krizonak in the recent history, even more so than the 2023 Mr. Olympia just a few weeks earlier. So definitely you will see a comparison video coming out here on the Bodybuilding News Network, as well as other channels. Mark's Max Muscle, EP09 might even do a little bit, and who even knows, maybe our Lord and Savior Desktop Bodybuilding, Xavier Willis, will do some content there and bump that sweet algorithm. Best of luck and congratulations to Michael Krizo. I would assume with Slovakia usually doesn't have any travel issues, so we might see him at the Japan Pro, as men's open bodybuilding does return to the Japan Pro this year. Of course, if you do not know, my plan is to travel to the 2024 Japan Pro next year, once my Nihonjin, or my Japanese, is a little bit better. But we do plan on traveling there, as I have coordinated that with Hidetaka Yamagishi, the promoter and Olympian bodybuilding legacy piece. Now, moving into third place, we have the newcomer, very, very exciting showing from Rubiel Mosquera, aka Neckzilla. And if you do not know, ladies and gentlemen, now you know. He just turned pro yesterday at the Amateur Prague, and he was a very competitive. It was a competitive lineup, but he was a very convincing win. There was another gentleman next to him that was very impressive, but somehow Rubiel, right? Neckzilla was able to squeeze that out. Now, my my thought here and my only critique here is he needs to bring a little bit more conditioning to really perfect that shape. He reminds me very much of a Big Ramy and Hassan Mustafa mixture. Maybe even a little bit of a Marcus Rule if you want to go old school. So we need to see a little bit more from him. But ladies and gentlemen, this is his first pro show. And for him to place top 3 amongst Olympians, ladies and gentlemen, placing above Olympians, I think is an absolute phenomenal showing from him. He beat out Nathan Asha. I think that's a huge accomplishment for him, and he should be very proud of what he's been able to accomplish. So best of luck to Michael Krizo and also Neckzilla in the coming months. I'm sure they will continue to compete to try to get that early qualification. Now in 4th place, Nathan Asha. I would say very consistent to what we've been able to see from Nathan Asha in the last few months. He is a absolute workhorse when it comes to competing, and I expect him to continue to compete. So if he does not do the Japan Pro, bar any travel visas, then you will definitely be seeing him at the Japan Pro this coming weekend to add to his 11 pro show wins. Best of luck to Nathan Asha in his coming competitions. Jan Turek. I'm a big fan of Jan Turek. I've said it every show I see him in. He has really nice lines, great conditioning, great symmetry. Sorry, symmetry is not a word. And if I remember correctly, he was a 212 gentleman, and coming into the Open is just phenomenal for him. The only critique is to continue to put on more shape, to put on more muscle, to really give that crazy X taper a little bit more of a sting for the judges to look at. You know, I love the physique, I love the structure. He's always in condition. He never comes off. Just absolutely phenomenal. I can say phenomenal a lot of times in these videos. So, you know, congratulations to Jan Turek, and I'm looking forward to seeing him continuing to compete. And we will cover the 6th place finisher, as sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just top 5. But Yan Ling out of China, EP09's favorite bodybuilder, coming in 6th here. And looking at the footage here, courtesy of, I do believe it was him himself or a friend of his, posted it on his Instagram feed. Pretty good, ladies and gentlemen, pretty good conditioning, pretty good quality for the video as well. This is exactly what we expect from Yan Ling. He does use 2 different names, so I do apologize if I am confusing you, but it is what is on his Instagram. It looks phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Great conditioning, and he's one of those guys that you wonder, you know, everyone wonders every time he hops on stage. It's like, can this guy do the 212? And I'm sure if he sucked it down really, really aggressively, maybe he could. And I mean, shoot, you think of even who's the guy? There's a couple people that could suck down to the 212, and this guy might be one of them, but he is crazy big. So you know, it is. I'm hesitant to say it, but I loved what he brought to this show. I think he's continuing to impress us as one of those newcomers, and when you look at him hopping into any show, it's almost automatic at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that he is going to be a first call out person. So best of luck to him if he does decide to compete more in this year. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching a somewhat brief, about 9 minutes breakdown of the top 6 at the Men's Open Prague Pro. If you guys enjoy this style of content, consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. Leave a comment down below if you want to see any of these competitors go head-to-head on the Contender And of course, if there's any athletes you'd love to see on the channel for interviews, make sure you comment them down below and tag them on Instagram so they know and I know, so we can collaborate. But that'll do it for another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network. I'm your host, Josh Sant. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.